I feel like nobody really prepares you for your 30s. Not the emotional shifts, not the distance from people you thought would always be there. So today I just wanted to talk about a few things I am learning in this season. Hey Amor Nation, welcome back to another weekly vlog. And if you're into these kinds of sit down talk to videos, then stick with me. Let's hope that I can teach you something and I can learn something from you as well in the comment section. So here's a few things that I'm learning in my 30s. 1. Peace becomes more valuable than being understood. Can I repeat that? Peace becomes more valuable than being understood. I needed to turn my nose ring around, so if you see it looking kind of crazy in the intro, yeah, I had to fix that. Anyway, there was a time when I wanted to explain myself to everyone or anyone, my choices, my silence, my distance. But no, I rather to be at peace than keep on reopening conversations that disturb my calm or interfere with my calm. Not everybody needs an explanation, and that kind of took me a while to accept. And sometimes you have people in your life, guys, and you just feel like you're so concerned about their feelings and their emotions and their reactions to your choices that you always feel the need to explain why you're doing this, why you're making that decision, why you're choosing, why you're choosing a particular thing, or why you're choosing to go a certain way, or why you're choosing to do things a particular way. Listen, do whatever floats your boat, whatever makes you happy, whatever puts you at peace, because one thing I've learned is that you can never please anybody. The only person you can truly aim to please is yourself. Aim to be at peace with yourself, because you damn if you do and you damn if you don't. It doesn't matter about what anyone thinks, as long as you're not really intentionally hurting anyone's feelings. And even if that's the case, you should know why you're doing that. At the end of the day, your peace matters more than anything else, and I believe that you should always do what is best for you and your peace. And sometimes you don't have to explain that to anybody at all. Sometimes, girl, you just have to do what you have to do, and people won't always understand your decisions or your choices anyway. So just do what you need to do to keep your peace and your calm inside yourself. And that's something that I'm learning in my 30s. My peace becomes more valuable than being understood. I don't care if you get it. I don't care if you are having a fit about it. As long as it brings me peace, that is the decision that I am working with. Number 2, some people will never apologize, and you will just have to understand that and move on. Stop waiting for apologies. Stop waiting for people to take accountability. Some people just never will. Some people never understand. Some people never grow up, and some people will never see that they are at fault for doing anything. And if you're going to go around and keep begging for that apology, or keep trying hard for somebody to take accountability, you're only wasting your life and wasting your time. Stop doing that. Well, I'm not here to tell you to stop doing that, but I know that I have learned that, and I am so happy that I have learned that, because it makes me no longer waste time. And to be honest, I don't think I used to waste time. I learned that a long time ago. I learned that from before my 30s, that some people are just never ever going to take up accountability. Some people are just never ever going to apologize for shit, and you just have to move on. Listen, this is one of the hardest lessons for a lot of people. Just realizing that some people will never apologize, and it's not because they don't know that they hurt you. It's simply because they just don't see it that way, and waiting for the apology can definitely keep you stuck. So moving on isn't about pretending it didn't hurt. It's just moving on, or learning to move on even without closure. Okay, the thing is, guys, I think growth definitely looks different in your 30s. It's less about proving and more about protecting. Now, something else that I've been learning in my 30s, or I've learned in my 30s, or some of these things I learned them before 30, but you know, they're solidified now in my head, and these are great lessons that I am happy that I have accepted, because it makes my life a little bit more peaceful, and it makes me a little bit more at ease with myself and making decisions too. One of the main things for me is learning that my energy, your energy, is a currency. It is, our energy is a currency, and you have to be mindful of who you give your energy to. Where I spend my time and who I give my energy to matters. I cannot afford to pour my energy into situations or conversations that are going to drain me. No. If we're having a conversation and I'm seeing that it's definitely going into a confrontational situation, you know, I pick my battles wisely. Yeah, if I see that you're somebody that's just not getting it, and Marie say you're somebody will never ever get it, listen, I'm not giving you all of that energy. Me I go find a way for put an end to it right this, so because my energy is a currency, and some people are very intentional about draining your energy, and you have to recognize when that is happening and learn when to put a stop to it. Some people are very intentional about draining your energy. You have to know when to recognize that and put a stop to it. If something costs me my peace, my sleep, or my sense of self, it's way too expensive for me. My currency is a energy, and I have to be very mindful of how I use it, who I offer it to, and where I'm taking it. Point blank period. Another important thing I've been learning in my 30s, guys, is that you outgrow people. You outgrow people without hating them. I'm not your friend anymore. I don't have to. It doesn't necessarily have to be a case where I hate you. No, I've just outgrown you. We're not in alignment with each other anymore. We don't see eye to eye anymore. And I don't have to hate you. We can just learn to move forward. And that is something I don't know why most of these adults are not getting it, you know. Not because I don't talk to you means I hate it. People just grow out of each other. People grow out of friendships. People grow out of relationships, and that is something that adults need to accept. And this is something that's very big for me. You don't have to villainize someone just because the relationship is no longer becoming. You don't have to villainize someone just because the relationship no longer fits who you're becoming. Sometimes growth just creates distance, and that truly does not mean that anyone failed in this case. People outgrow people every single day. It's a part of life. It's a part of the circle of life, or the cycle of life, and that is just that. Get with it. All right. Another thing that I have learned to accept in my 30s is that healing isn't loud or aesthetic. I used to think healing looked a certain way, very visible, very expressive. But healing in my 30s has been truly very quiet. Very quiet. I'm gonna say quiet literally. Sometimes I don't even like to be talking. I don't like to hear noise. Sometimes I just like to sit in silence and just allow things to flow naturally into me, you know, reflecting naturally in the quiet. You know, sometimes healing is so quiet that you don't even want to be talking on the phone. You don't want to hear the chatter. You just want your mind to just be silent. And these are the times actually when I believe that, you know, even the presence of the Lord is near, because things that you don't understand, things that you want answers to, I believe in these seasons and in these quiet moments is when you truly get the answers to troubling questions that you may have about whether it is your personal life, relationships, or just directions that you need to take in life. Healing in my 30s, as I said, it's been quiet. It's been boundaries. It's been literally being intentional about choosing quiet or choosing silence. it's been changing how I respond instead of reacting. Healing doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it just looks like peace. Sometimes I just see somebody at well amazed or them just quiet, you know. They're just really doing self-reflection and nothing really wrong with them mentally, you know. Sometimes you just need that silence to just absorb it all and just to, you know, silence the noise and really listen to yourself. And it's in these moments, as I said before, that you find the correct path or direction that you need to take for growth and answers to questions that you may have about your life choices or just anything that you've been questioning in your personal space, head, or just life overall. Yeah, it's in these quiet moments that you find those answers. So healing is definitely not loud. It's not always expressive. Sometimes it's just really peace, quiet, and silence. Another thing that I've been learning in my 30s is that loneliness can exist even when you're doing well. Another thing no one really talks about in your 30s too is just how lonely this season can be. No matter how you look, no matter how beautiful you might look, no matter what you have, you could be rich, you know, it could seem like everything is happening for you on the outside, that's what it appears to others, but really and truly a lot of the times this season of your life is very, very lonely. I remember growing up and just always hearing people saying how lonely it can be at the top. It truly can get lonely at the top, because after you've gone through so many different seasons of your life, a lot of persons that you would have expected would have been at a certain point with you. You would have come upon a lot of people that you would have thought or expected would have been at a certain point in your journey. Let me break it to you guys, that's not always the case. When you get to this season in your life, you realize that yep, loneliness can exist even when you are doing well. Everything can look fine on the outside. You can be progressing, working, growing, and still feel alone. And that does not mean you're ungrateful. It also doesn't mean that you are broken. It just means that you're human, and once again, it's a part of the cycle of life. I just saw the thing set. And one final thought, or one final thing that I've definitely accepted or learned in my 30s: boundaries make you look selfish. Boundaries make you look selfish to people who have benefited from none. This one is kind of uncomfortable to learn, or it may be uncomfortable to learn. Boundaries will make you look selfish to people who are definitely used to having unlimited access to you, and that's okay, because setting boundaries isn't necessarily about punishing others. It is really about protecting yourself. Not everyone will like the new version of you, but the right people will definitely understand. I think growth definitely looks different in your 30s. It's less about proving and more about protecting. I'm still learning. I'm also still unlearning. And I think that's the part no one really prepares you for. If you're in a season where life feels quieter but clearer, you're not behind. You're just becoming. If you're learning similar lessons, I hope this reminds you that you're not alone in it. We're all figuring things out in real time, and I'm grateful we get to do that together here. I don't have everything figured out, but I trust myself even more now, and honestly, that feels like growth. Your 30s aren't about having it all together either. They're about finally listening to yourself. So if you're navigating a similar season, you're definitely welcome here. And if you want to stick around for more videos like these, I'd love that. This kind of connects to last week's video but this is more of what I've stopped doing. If this video resonates with you, the last one might too. Anyways guys, this is the end of the video. It definitely is always a pleasure for me to come here and connect with you guys. I hope you guys have been loving the series of videos that I've been providing to you. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in next week's video. Bye Amor Nation. Love ya. You're still watching? Thank you. But why you don't subscribe yet? Click that red button below right now. Subscribe to the channel, man. Big up yourself. Thank you.